Hello and welcome back, all my Dragon Ball Theorist. Perhaps the most interesting part of the entire Galactic Patrol arc is focused around this mysterious character known as Merus. He has concealed his true identity from everyone and disguised himself as a Galactic Patrolman. We don't know how long Merus has been living this charade, as he only tells the story of Moro's capture 10 million years ago, but wasn't seen as part of the Galactic Patrol back then, and there have been no stories told of when he joined. I have done quite a few theories on the possibilities of Merus, and all of them could be plausible, but today I wanted to focus on an idea that I have seen many times in the comments, that Merus isn't just an angel, but somehow he is a hybrid, an offspring of the angels. Is this something that is forbidden and the reason for Merus concealing his identity? Can the angels have offspring or be allowed to live a normal life instead of one where their only purpose is that of being a servant to a god of destruction? Let's explore today that very possibility in this video and see why even Whis seems to be confused on the laws of the angels. Is Merus a demigod? One thing is for sure, I have never trusted this guy. Everything seems a little too convenient for Merus to have all these powers and be part of the Galactic Patrol, just as Moro escapes after being in prison for 10 million years. Why take part in the capture of these powerful enemies like 7-3, Sagambo, and this gang, which the Galactic Patrol would have never been able to capture on their own, providing Moro with incredible allies to act out his plan of reshaping the universe? It's obvious that Merus could have apprehended Moro himself, but he didn't, and instead, only after being questioned by Goku, did we find out that the rumors seemed to be true, that Merus is indeed for some reason an angel, as he knows Ultra Instinct and has been easily laying the smackdown on Goku in the time chamber during his training. So I don't trust this guy for a minute. I hope Goku is smart enough to see the similarities between Merus and Whis and not to let his guard down, because so many things about this character still don't add up. We still really don't know if he is a friend or foe, despite Goku claiming that he can tell he is one of the good guys. I've seen a lot of comments when we had clues early on about Merus that he couldn't be an angel because he doesn't look like one. Well, there have been a lot of fan artwork done that made Merus look completely different than an angel, with green hair and yellow eyes, except when we look at the official Jump cover and see Merus colored in for the first time, it's obvious that the similarities we have now, where he has the exact same eyes of the angels and a similar skin tone. Although yet, there still seem to be some differences with his hair, and maybe his headgear is concealing the true nature of this character. That if he were to take it off, it would reveal his pointed ears and tell us that he has some type of relationship with the Kais. As we have seen, there are many variations of Kais throughout the multiverse in terms of skin tone and design. Is it possible that somehow a Kai attained full knowledge of Ultra Instinct and disguised himself in Universe 7? Is it possible that an angel had an offspring with a Kai or another mortal to produce a hybrid being, one that would be forced to live a different life and prove himself among the mortals? Well, we have heard many stories like this one told in Greek mythology, where Zeus would have offspring with the mortals, a son born to the mortal world named Perseus, and there have been movies telling of this tale in Clash of the Titans, a demigod that would rise up and fight for the mortals against the plans of certain gods and prove his worth. By the way, if you're gonna watch Clash of the Titans, I prefer the original made in 1981. It's a classic, and the reboots just don't do it justice, but when have they ever? Now Zeus, since he is the king of the gods, could get away with his actions and get it on with the mortals having children, but this act would be frowned upon for any other god to interfere like this, similar to how it would likely be hard in the Dragon Ball universe for any of the angels to get involved with mortals like this and actually have offspring. Despite many theories on angels over the years having their own agenda, they all seem to maintain neutrality and never break any of the laws they are bound to. So the only character in the Dragon Ball universe that seems capable of a similar act is the father to all the angels, the one who is making all the rules, the Grand Priest. While it would be forbidden for Whis to get involved with a mortal or a Kai and start a family, since he must instead be a guide to Beerus, the same as all the other angels, it isn't forbidden for the father of all the angels, when he was setting up the entire god hierarchy, to have perhaps explored other options in terms of having children. That he would want to have children that would be demigods and live throughout the universe, to watch over the development of the mortals to see how they evolve. It would be the perfect way to have the closest watch on the multiverse, and it explains why when Whis went to visit his father and talk about angel laws, the Grand Priest is well aware of the situation with Merus. This is why Merus can interact with the mortals. why he doesn't have a halo, and why he is in Universe 7, because he is a hybrid child of the Grand Priest. I would imagine that since Merus is a demigod or a hybrid angel, that he would also not be completely bound by angel laws and have more freedom to make decisions on his own. I mean, that freedom of decision making is in his mortal blood. So his bloodline, if he is part mortal, would mean he is also capable of doing wrong and siding with good or evil. Maybe one other reason for the Grand Priest to keep a close eye on him to see how he develops with the mortals. Just another test of the gods. I guess the main question is, how much does Whis know about Merus? Had they met a very long time ago on the angel homeworld? One thing I wanted to mention is this great beyond that the angels come from and return to when not in service to their god of destruction. While Whis is connected to Beerus as his servant, and if Beerus dies, then he will cease to function until a new god of destruction is appointed, we never found out if he returns home, which would make sense, and it would seem that these angels do have a world with life on it, as it was hinted in Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 7, where during a word game, Whis named a Jiljil, and when Goku asked what that was, he stated it's the name of a bird from his home planet. So what else is on this home planet that Whis came from? Are there other angels that aren't in service to a god of destruction? Before Whis became a servant, did he grow up there with all the other angels, and only some of them were selected to fill the divine role to be this guide to the gods? Did all the angels of the previously erased universes go back to their homeworld instead of being erased? A lot of questions, and we do have some answers. I did cover in my video on what Zeno can't erase, as the angels being one of those things. As we know, they are absolved from it, and at no point has an angel ever been erased by the Omni King. The fact is, when we explore Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 28, when Goku went to see Zenchan and ask about the tournament, right before he arrived, the two Omni Kings had decided to erase the universes with the lowest mortal levels. One Zeno says, "You're right, let's erase 4, while the other one says, let's erase the 8 universes that are lower than the other ones. Prime example of how two Omni Kings isn't a good thing. However, as the Grand Priest is preparing for the destruction of these 8 universes, he says, "Very well, my lord. Then let the guides of the designated universes withdraw." Which means if Goku never showed up to stop this from happening, all the angels would have been removed and returned to their home planet until needed again despite the destruction of their universe. Which also means when Zeno erased the previous 6 universes, that this happened to all the angels and they weren't erased. There is no conspiracy that the Grand Priest is angry over his children dying, because they have never died and will never be erased by Zeno. As we know, they are divine beings that have a different role than everyone else in the universe. So in regards to Merus and whether or not he is a hybrid demigod or a full-blooded angel, well, either could easily be written into the story. Merus could be a hybrid of the mortals and the Grand Priest and forced to live out his life among them, which means he has more freedom in his decisions and potentially could have helped Moro escape. Or like I said before, the Grand Priest very well could have sent Merus to Universe 7 since he was on the angel homeworld waiting for a job to fulfill. He very well could be an angel from a previously erased universe, because right before Zeno erased them, the Grand Priest withdrew all the guides and sent them to their homeworld to wait until a time where they were needed again. Now tell me, do you think Merus is actually a hybrid, and who are the potential parents? Or is he a full-blooded angel, perhaps from a previously erased universe, doing the bidding of the Grand Priest in Universe 7? We had 3 days until the next chapter is out, and I hope that we continue on with where we left off with this stunning conversation between the Grand Priest and Whis. That we finally find out more about the Angel's homeworld and all the other divine beings. As always, I love to hear your thoughts and theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to share it and smash that like button. It really helps out tremendously. Also, please subscribe to support the channel and make sure you turn on that notification bell to keep those theories coming.